So, after the state of play where everyone expected Sony to come out with all their big hitters, or at least some of them, to at least showcase their state of play as a PlayStation first-party studio, majority, if not 99% of them, were pretty much third-party, going to all platforms, well, at least Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. There was like one or two games in there, and even though one of them was only just basically kind of glazed with Saros, I think it is, who knows when that's going to actually go to PC. So even though they're trying to chalk that up to a win, the game is so far out at the moment, anything could really change. But at least Xbox gamers got to see a bunch of games on there that are going to go on their platform day and date, so there's no real concern there. But today we got some other news, and I got it right at the end of my stream, and I actually am pretty excited about it. So it seems that Microsoft may be ready now to push forward with their next generation console. So let's have the drop and check it out. So it comes from this post over here, according to Jez Corden, and I know people are going to say, well, Jez is always a fibber. It's really weird because when he talks positively about Xbox, he's a liar, but when he talks positively about PlayStation, he is the gospel angel truth. So I don't know, take it as you will. But I'm going to take this with a grain of salt, but we all know that the rumors of the next generation console have been running around rampant. Phil has spoken about it multiple times. He's been in an interview with Vicious as well as Destin, and in both of those, he pretty much confirmed that there is a next generation console in the works that is going to be coming out at some point. And now everyone is expecting that to be 2026. It's a viable year, November, ready for the holidays. And if GTA 6 gets cancelled to the following year, which is a real possibility, that could be like the perfect game to launch your console with. But then they also have a bunch of other games that are lining up, like Gears of War, Halo, Blade, and so forth. There's a lot of games there that they can launch it with for their next generation console to give it that big oomph that it really needs. But, as you can see here, according to Jez Corden, the next Xbox has progressed beyond its initial pitch phase. I've recently been told that Xbox's next generation console hardware has now moved past its early pitch stages and has been fully approved and costed all the way up the chain. Are you excited for the next generation of Xbox? Now what this essentially means is that the actual pretty much spec of what they're looking at for the next generation console is kind of not cemented, but pretty much done. They've still got time to make further tweaks here and further tweaks there within the boundaries of the budget of the console, but it has to be within that boundary that they've set themselves now. So there's going to be a bit of wiggle room, but not as much as people think. Now they need to actually start building the chassis and the hardware and putting it into a form that's basically home usable. That's actually really, really good news. That usually takes quite some time to finalize the way it is. They have to kind of create, if you look inside the Series X, the PCB board is pretty small, so it's probably custom. So what I'm saying is, this sort of stuff takes time, being able to get everything done to the right measurements, right spec, getting games tested on there that are going to be launch titles. So there's all of that still to be done, but this is, if true, really good news. It shows that Microsoft still is in the console business. Now, obviously, there's been talks about them having like this OEM system, where in different countries, different manufacturers are going to come out with their own version of the Xbox. That's still something that potentially will happen, and if it does, we'll see how that actually works out. So the question now remains, when will Microsoft actually come out and openly show something or reveal something or talk about something like as a confirmed thing? Now I think the Xbox Showcase is probably one that is going to be a really, really good platform for them to do this. The one that's held in the summer, during the Summer Games Fest where Microsoft does their own thing. I think that's going to be the best place to do this because that's pretty much their biggest show of the year. Now, the Tokyo Game Show I don't think is the right place, and if you're doing your own showcase, I don't think the Summer Games Fest is going to work either. So if they skip their own presentation, then it does feel like the next place that they're going to show it or reveal it at the Game Awards at the end of the year. So you've got a few spots that you can do it in, but I feel like the summer presentation is probably going to be the right place. They also need to start talking about the handheld, because everyone has now jumped into it. You know, there's been rumors about the handheld for quite some time on, you know, what it's going to be capable of, what people want. Phil has spoken about it, Sarah has spoken about it, and at this point, Microsoft is starting to fall behind with the handheld market, considering they were one of the eager ones at the start after Steam Deck. So I feel like this year is also a point where they need to also talk about the handheld. So I do expect them at some point this year to talk about it. Again, where would be the right place for this? You want to get it at the biggest show of the year, and you know, to get as many eyes on it. Your own showcase is definitely going to be a plausible place to go view this, but obviously the Summer Games Fest and the Video Game Awards is probably one of the biggest stages that you'll have. Where do you think that they're actually going to show this information? Do you think they'll do it on their own showcase, or do you think they're going to leverage Jeff Keighley's, you know, platform and use that to showcase the new Xbox, or even talk about the new hardware for the handheld? I don't know, but I think they do need to show something, and if the reports like this are starting to come out now, it does mean, and I do believe that this sort of stuff is purposefully leaked to, you know, raise some buzz, raise some hype. I do feel like them actually coming out and talking about this isn't far off. And we were talking about the state of play earlier, and when I said there was a lot of games that you know, were coming to Xbox, I wasn't joking. And Microsoft, instead of just showing pictures, they decided just to list everything. That's pretty much everything that was shown, barring like 2 games, Days Gone, Saros, and I think there was a VR game as well, and that's it. Out of those, everything else was pretty much shown. Snake Eater being a notable one. Onimusha, really cool that that's coming back. Really excited for that one. Crossworlds was nice. Shinobi looked awesome. So there's a bunch of nice games here. Those of you that like Digimon, I know a bunch of PlayStation fans said that Digimon was going to be exclusive. It is not. It is coming. And as you can see here, and more to come. And obviously they're referring to Xbox first party games like Avowed that just got released today. They're looking at South of Midnight and a bunch of other games that are all due out for the rest of this year. So really cool stuff. It was, as an Xbox fan, that showing was actually pretty damn good. But folks, what do you think about the news that the Xbox hardware has now been fully costed? The budget is there. Obviously, we don't know what that cost will be manufacture-wise. Probably a lot, actually. Or what it will actually retail when it comes out, you know, officially. But a 2026 date now is, you know, it's a holiday 2026 date is actually looking viable. It's looking definitely that it could be happening. And with news like this, when do you think we'll actually get to see the new hardware? Or at least them talking about the new hardware, or showing something of the new hardware? Even if it is just an outer box of what it will look like. Do you think we'll get to see it at the Xbox showcase or the Summer Games Fest, or are they going to leave it till the, you know, the Game of the Year awards? You let me know in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, because I'm genuinely interested. Right, that's all I have for you for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, remain legend.